Hello and welcome to IW Chicagoland Adventures. Today we're going through all of the boulevards, filmed over the course of 2 weekends. We're going to head from Halsted and Diversey all the way around the boulevard system to King Drive and Cermak. The Blue Line was not performing well on this Sunday, so we're taking the 8 bus up Halsted to the starting point. I wanted to film Chicago's boulevard system because it's quite unique. A typical Chicago boulevard will have 2 travel lanes in each direction in the middle, and then 2 one-way streets on the sides. The boulevards are strung together by a system of parks that wraps all the way around the city. And over the course of these 2 weekends, we're going to explore the whole system. I initially wanted to take the Diversey bus to Logan Boulevard, but unfortunately it was 7 minutes away. So we're going to run down Diversey, which was initially part of the boulevard's plan, to get to Logan. Do none of the Chicago gas stations have bathrooms? Luckily, we can always rely on McDonald's. On Kedzie Boulevard in Logan Square, we see a giant farmer's market. Unfortunately, it was so packed that I couldn't get a good tour of it. This trail looks familiar. At the border of Sacramento and Franklin Boulevards, we see another one of those famous signs.
Oh, so you guys are full till 3:45? Okay, thank you.
Ah, darn. At least I got some photos from a prior trip. Chicago's segregation is kind of insane. Once we cross under the Pink Line and BNSF tracks, we go from a community that's over 80% black to a community that's over 80% Hispanic. As we're crossing the Chicago River on Western Boulevard, we reach the exact center point of Chicago, the center of all landmass. Coincidentally, it borders a neighborhood called Heart of Chicago. I'm really feeling the heat today, so let's go to Jewel Osco to grab something to drink. I decided I wasn't going to run the full marathon distance of the Chicago boulevards in one day, so we're gonna hop on the Green Line and head back. But don't worry, IW from next weekend will replace us and continue the video.
Oh, wrong one. I thought that was ours too. Oh shit.
Ah, shit is right. Well, IW number 1 waits for his train. IW number 2 gets underway. Before heading to our next boulevard, the Midway Plaisance, we take a tour through Washington Park's namesake, Washington Park, and the cool lagoon on Bynum Island. After crossing under the Metro Electric tracks, we flip around to the other side of the Plaisance. When we we get to the north end of Washington Park, we have an interesting challenge. Both Drexel Boulevard and Grand Boulevard, or King Drive, run parallel to each other, which means that we're going to have to do a loop to cover them both. At this point, both my internal battery and my GoPro battery were getting kind of low. So we're going to take a number 4 Cottage Grove bus northbound back to Oakland. At the end of our trip at McCormick Place, I was pleasantly surprised to see a huge crowd. They were there for the National Restaurant Association's show. I managed to sneak in for just a bit to get some footage, and then I headed back out because I was the only one there in sweaty clothes. As we exit Clinton Station, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and make sure to please like and subscribe. For those few superfans out there, here's a quick update on our Chicago 77 challenge, which is a challenge to visit every single community area in Chicago. Blue stands for sufficiently visited, orange for visited but insufficiently, and red is not visited yet. Lincoln Park and Lakeview were already blued out. Going into this video, Logan Square, we saw a good bit of that, so we can move it from orange to blue. West Town remains orange because we haven't seen Wicker Park yet. Humboldt Park remains orange. We've barely seen any of that. Same goes for East Garfield Park. West Garfield Park is in fact red, and East Garfield Park is orange because we haven't been to any residential areas yet. North Lawndale, we went through a significant enough portion. I'm going to call that blue. And then South Lawndale, which includes Little Village, we haven't seen any of 26th Street yet, which is really important, so we're going to keep that orange. And Lower West Side was already blue, and then McKinley Park, Brighton Park, New City, which contains Back of the Yards, and Gage Park. We haven't really toured any of those. We were right along the border on Western Boulevard. We never set foot into West Englewood or Englewood, and I cannot in good faith count Fuller Park at all, even though we were technically within their borders on the sidewalk. Washington Park, we saw a good bit of both the park and a little bit of the neighborhood. Hyde Park, we saw just the Midway Plaisance on that day. We can't count that. And then Kenwood, we only saw Drexel there, but that's enough to make it blue. And Grand Boulevard, we've doubled up on. Oakland, Oakwood Boulevard double covers Oakland. And Douglas and the near south side were already blue. And so that's our current map right now. We still got a long ways to go, especially on that southwest side. So definitely stay tuned to the channel as we fill in those gaps.